Week 2 of Mirror Now's campaign, Old Car, Not Bekaar. Over the past week, we have spoken about Delhi government's tyranny, how the transport department officials have impounded vehicles and sent them to junkyards without informing people. Mirror Now has approached all the concerned authorities, but not a single authority has responded from the Delhi government. Authorities remain silent and people run from pillar to post to get back their car. Now, our campaign, With Your Voices, brought to light the callousness of the Delhi government, MCD and scrap companies and how, in some cases, cars were seized only to extort money. We shall not stop. We shall keep raising your concerns until authorities listen to the grievances and take an action. My colleague Ishika joins me live on the broadcast for more details on our campaign. Ishika, good afternoon. You're one of our reporters who's been continuously tracking this story for us. Yet, the bigger question over here still remains, who is accountable for the plight of these citizens?
Well, certainly, Nivedna, this is the week 2 of Mirror Now's relentless campaign of Old Car, Not Bekaar. And we have been bringing you the voices from the ground where the people complain that their cars were towed away by the transport department officials without giving them any prior notice. Now, many of the citizens we also saw, they came to the transport bhavan to meet the transport department, and yet they did not get any relief. Now, I have one such individual with me who has faced a very similar issue. I'll go across to him. सर, मेरा सवाल सबसे पहले ये है कि आपकी गाड़ी कब उठाई गई थी और ट्रांसपोर्ट डिपार्टमेंट की तरफ से जैसा ट्रीटमेंट है उसके बारे में आप बताएं।
मैम, मेरी गाड़ी उठाई थी 15/4/2023 को मैम, और मुझे कोई नोटिस नहीं दिया था ट्रांसपोर्ट डिपार्टमेंट ने, तो हमें बहुत परेशानी हुई इसके कारण। हमें पता नहीं था कि गाड़ी हमारी उठाई जाएगी करके। तो हमें ये सरकार से निवेदन है, क्योंकि हमें नोटिस देके ये चीज़ें इन्फॉर्मेशन की जाती तो हमें पता रहती। तो हमें सरकार से विनती है कि हमारी गाड़ी रिलीज़ कर दिया जाए। तो ये
आज आप ट्रांसपोर्ट भवन आए हुए हैं, यहाँ पे क्या आपको मिलने का वक्त दिया गया है? क्या आप पहले भी आ चुके हैं यहाँ पर?
हाँ जी मैम, मैं पहले भी आ चुका हूँ यहाँ पे। मैं दूसरी बार विजिट कर रहा हूँ यहाँ पे कार्यालय पे। जो स्पेशल कमिश्नर जी हमारे शमशाद आलम जी, उन्होंने मुझे आज बुलाया था, लेकिन आज उनसे मीटिंग नहीं हो पाई मेरी। तो और उन्होंने बोला था अपनी जो समस्याएं हैं एक एप्लीकेशन में आप लिख दीजिए। मैंने अपने एप्लीकेशन में अपनी समस्याएं लिखी हैं, लेकिन जो मेरी एप्लीकेशन है वो अभी मुझे पता नहीं क्या हुआ उसका। तो मैं ही नहीं, बहुत लोग और आए हैं मेरे जैसे यहाँ पे। बहुत परेशान हैं लोग बाग कि जो इस तरीके से गाड़ियाँ पार्किंग में से उठाई जाएंगे, वो थोड़ा मेरे ख्याल से वो थोड़ा गलत है।
लेकिन आपने जैसे कहा कि आप पहले भी आए थे, यहाँ पर मिले थे, उस वक्त क्या बातचीत हुई थी? क्या उससे कोई निष्कर्ष निकल पाया था?
हाँ जी, मैं पहले भी आ चुका था। पहले मेरे को बोला था कि आपकी समस्या क्या है, आपकी अपनी समस्या बताएं। मैंने अपनी समस्या बताई कि सर मेरी गाड़ी थी, वो पार्किंग में से उठाई गई थी, जो चल नहीं रही थी, जो पोल्यूशन नहीं दे रही थी। तो मैंने अपनी एप्लीकेशन में समस्या दी गई और उन्होंने बोला कि आप एप्लीकेशन में अपनी समस्या लिखिए, तो आपको जो भी होगा आप अगली विजिट करिए बुधवार को। तो मैं आज नेक्स्ट डे
तो आज आए?
हाँ, दूसरी बार मैं आया हूँ यहाँ पे।
और अभी क्या है आपके एप्लीकेशन का स्टेटस?
अभी मैंने इनसे पता किया तो ये कह रहे हैं कि यहाँ वहाँ मैं बहुत जगह घूमा, तो मुझे अभी थोड़ी देर इन्फॉर्मेशन मिली कि आपकी एप्लीकेशन रिजेक्ट कर दी गई है। अगर वो गाड़ी आपकी बाहर की होती, तो जैसे बाहर जैसे हरियाणा दूसरे राज्यों की, तो वो आपको छूट जाती। लेकिन आपकी डीएल नंबर है, डीएल नंबर ये छोड़ नहीं रहे हैं। ये कह रहे हैं कि 15 साल आपकी गाड़ियों को हो चुके हैं, तो वो गाड़ी हम नहीं छोड़ेंगे।
तो आपकी क्या सिफारिश है?
मैं गवर्नमेंट से हाथ जोड़ के विनती करना चाहता हूँ हमारी सरकार से कि हमारी गाड़ी रिलीज़ कर दी जाए। हम अपने गांव ले जाएंगे। हमारे थोड़े इमोशन जुड़े हैं गाड़ी से, जन्म भर की कमाई हम उसमें लगाते हैं। तो सरकार से हम स्क्रैप नहीं कराना चाहते, वो थोड़ा हमारी यादगारी जुड़ी रहती है। सरकार से विनती करते हैं हम, कृपया रिलीज़ कर दिया जाए।
So, this was the voice of this very gentleman here, who is saying right now that he had come to meet the transport department, before as well. And then they had told him to write down whatever his problems are and then submit an application. And today when he has come for the second visit, now he's getting to know that his application has been rejected. Now, he also urges the government to in fact listen to the citizens' plight and give them some kind of relief. So these are the voices, that we continue to get from the ground, where the citizens say that they are at the moment getting, feeling as if they are being harassed from the transport department officials, and they are still waiting that they get some kind of relief from the transport department. Over to you.
Right, Ishika. Stay with me. I'm going to come back to you. I understand our viewers also are joining us on the broadcast over the phone lines, of course, to tell us, their perspective. I understand V.S. Murugaya from Bengaluru has called us. Murugaya, good afternoon. Please go ahead and share with us your perspective.
So I want to talk to you, madam. See, when there is a provision in the transport motor collector, the old vehicle can be registered as a this one. What's it called? I've forgotten the name. Old vehicles. There is a scheme. There is a provision in the motor collector. Vintage vehicle. Okay. Hello.
Go ahead.
Hello?
I can hear you.
See, there is a provision in the motor collector to register the old vehicle as a vintage vehicle. See, we're having some relation with the vehicle since from using it from 15 years. Why can't they register in the this vintage car category? They can register and kept it in the home. How they can lift the vehicle without any provision, without giving any notice to the public? There is no such provision. Unnecessary, there is a high-handedness from all the authorities concerned. You can take action and we can go approach the court also. Is there any disturbance to any public or anybody to any pollution? There is no any problem. Why they are doing, I don't know. So thank you very much, madam.
Right, Murugaya. Thank you very much for joining us on the broadcast and, of course, raising those important concerns as well. But let me go across to another caller of ours, P. Kumar, calling us from Chennai. Kumar, good afternoon. Please go ahead and share with us your perspective as well.
We have to see the flip side of this also. Delhi has become a gas chamber. 35% people are reporting every day there is a problem, asthmatic problem and all. So all those people who are playing a victim card, you must tell them this is not the way. See, there is already a sufficient provision Honorable Apex Court has given. They only transformed that CNG policies over there. So if they have any kind of grouse or animosity against the government, they can approach the Honorable Apex Court. But what government is doing, it is not the larger interest of the citizen and community over there. Today, everybody has a dream to be in Delhi, but you see, if your lungs and other things are spoiled, you are shortening your life by 15 to 20 years. So that is a very the heavy price we are paying for this all vehicles. And Delhi has 45 lakh vehicles, and every day thousands of vehicles are being purchased, right? So we have to see it in a holistic manner, and the victim card playing by these people are not acceptable. Thank you.
Right, P. Kumar. But of course, that is your perspective. But our campaign is focused on the fact and the manner in which this is being carried out. But thank you very much for joining us on the broadcast. But to take this conversation further, I understand I'm being joined in by a guest, Anurag Saxena, who's a petitioner and automobile engineer. Anurag, thank you very much for taking the time out and joining us here on Mirror Now. Of course, through this campaign, we've had so many voices join us and, try to give their perspective and share the audios as well. Before we get talking about other aspects of it, what is your first viewpoint about it?
This entire gamut of picking up cars is absolutely irrational. The way the people are going about and harassing a normal citizen just because they do not have a combined voice. The public doesn't have a combined voice. You sit across like farmers or you petition like the wrestlers, people will listen to you. I'm very grateful to Mirror Now for picking up this particular topic and raising the common man's viewpoint. Today, if the government says that anybody who goes out of the house will be slapped twice, Indians as we are will say, thank God it is not 3 or 5. Now, point is, what is the exact reason? Is pollution the concern, or are the old vehicles a concern, or is promoting and pushing the sales of new cars the concern? You see, my 280 pages of petition, which was filed in the Honorable Supreme Court, which was rejected without even hearing. It was my perseverance that I spoke for 8 minutes and got fined. But the fact remains, where exactly is the lacune? Is the lacune with the Delhi government, or is the lacune with the Central Motor Vehicle Act? And as people are saying pollution Isn't pollution in other places? There is. I am right now in Srinagar. You can see a houseboat. I am sitting here. There are cars which are diesel running vehicles which pollute like anything. The entire road which I covered, 860 odd kilometers, there were vehicles, there were trucks which were spewing black carbon smoke. Where is the question of criteria of pollution? Then comes the issue. Why is it been so long? When 2014, 26th of November, the Honorable NGT had passed an order. Why was this order not implemented by the Delhi government or by the central government? Why is the Motor Vehicle Act amended in 2021 does not talk about this? Why? Okay, the drive is continuing. The way it is continuing, it is a typical our state of affairs that, you make a law, you implement it and then talk about the repercussions. As you were saying, 15-year-old cars, taxi, private cars are being banned. Commercial cars are being allowed to run up to 15 years. Why? Just because they're on CNG? Has anybody done a research on the CNG? CNG is carcinogenic. Why aren't people in Europe following it? Europe has not allowed it. China, only a few vehicles. Why? Because it is carcinogenic. They have allowed private vehicles to run for 15 long years. Why? Commercial vehicles for 15 years. Why? Commercial vehicles do 2 to 3 lakhs of kilometers in a single year. They do approximately 10 to 15,000. A private car will do 15,000 in a year. Private commercial vehicles will do it in just about a month. Why is this particular vagary in the constitution in which you are implementing? The technological advancements which have been there, which have come up now, Bharat Stage 6, Bharat Stage 4, you cannot discriminate a Bharat Stage 4 vehicle with another Bharat Stage 4 vehicle just depending upon the model or the make or the manufacturing year. The fans in the Honorable Supreme Court are 60 years long. Have they lost their efficiency? The answer is no. A machine can be maintained. A machine can be repaired. Being a lawyer, being an engineer, I'm an automobile engineer and a qualified lawyer. I've done my master's in law. I'm doing PhD. But the fact remains that this particular topic is where what is the current study of my thesis. And I have made an elaborate thesis on this particular topic where successive governments have failed to bring up the issue of pollution. The real causes of pollution not being addressed. You're harassing the common man for vested interests. The vested interests are very clear that yes, private car sales have to go up. The sales of new cars have to go up. The electrical cars have to go up. I have done a research on electric cars. The tires are the same, the roads are the same, which cause the pollution.
Anurag, I'd have to, interject you there, but thank you very much for taking the time out and joining us, and of course, drawing things into perspective, even as a petitioner for viewers to better understand this situation. But of course, we still at Mirror Now will continue to raise those questions and most importantly, find out who is accountable.
It's a very long discussion. Okay.
Right.
Being in a beautiful place
but
like
I'm afraid we're running out of time, but thank you very much for joining us here on Mirror Now. But on the other hand, Congress has reacted on our campaign, Old Car, Not Bekaar. The Congress party questioned why cars were being towed without notice. Now, Congress MP Pramod Tiwari has demanded a new policy for scrapping of cars.
जीवन में आदमी जो साधारण की बात कर रहा हूँ, मध्यम वर्ग की बात कर रहा हूँ, मैं हमारे दो की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ। मैं जीवन में एक ही गाड़ी खरीद पाता है। कभी कभी लोग सेकंड हैंड गाड़ी भी खरीदते हैं। तो कुछ सालों बाद अभी गाड़ी चली भी नहीं 1 लाख किलोमीटर, 10 साल पूरे हो गए, 15 साल पूरे हो गए, आप उसको हटा देते हैं। और जो मेरा सुझाव है कि उसमें ऐसा उपकरण लगाया जाए कि जिससे वर्थ एनजीटी के निर्देशों का भी पालन हो जाए और गाड़ी चल भी सके। तो जो उपकरण है उसे लगाने के लिए सरकार सब्सिडाइज करे।
There should be given prior notice. That is what I will say. Many of them may not be aware of new law, so at least warning and notices should be served to them.
While the overage private vehicles are being towed away and scrapped in Delhi, the Delhi government has extended the permit validity of taxis running on CNG and clean fuels up to 15 years. Now, this after the Delhi High Court had directed the Transport Department to consider the grievances of the petitioner taxi unions and individuals and pass the necessary orders. But Mirror Now asks the Delhi government and the Delhi Transport Department if the validity can be increased for taxis, then why not for private vehicles running on petrol that have been comparatively less driven and are better maintained? Now, if the government is concerned about pollution, Then why are there separate rules being framed for taxis and private vehicles?